Hey, everybody. It's your lovely Lotus Blossom Lizzie. How's everyone doing today? I saw the chat is already live, but I couldn't come on the chat just yet because, I'm always doing some stuff in the background today. So, how is everyone doing? I see Nettie, I see you're having a few issues, so I'm sending some positive energy your way so you can feel better. Now today I'm going to be working on a signature in a huge journal that I'm working on. And I actually worked on it over on the Patreon channel this morning as well. I've been working on it for a while and it's just about done and finished. And maybe, just maybe, I might give you all a preview of it because I'm really excited about it. It's so beautiful. It's turning out just nice. So I have this last signature actually to work on for it. It has like 5 signatures, so it's been taking me a while. So before I get started, I always like to make sure that I invite those who love junk journaling as much as the rest of us to actually hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button so that you'll be notified when more videos like this one come out. And also don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Got to say, give it a thumbs up right now so you won't forget. Hello, Oregon Coaster. I'm glad you're here because we enjoy all our company. This is like our fun time, right, y'all? This is our fun time. I love it. So YouTube just sent out the notification. I heard my phone go off, so they just sent out the notification. Usually I'm on for a few minutes before the notification goes out. I don't know why. It's kind of crazy. So I took a break from actually doing my Christmas junk journal, but I haven't forgotten it because I just need to get some other things done too because, I can do the Christmas journal at any time. All right, so hopefully I'm going to give you all some fantastic ideas. And if you need even more ideas that come from other people other than me, you can head over to our Facebook group. And that is Junk Journal Buddies. And the link is in the description below for that as well. And we are having a crafting after dark tomorrow at 9 o'clock. So I've already announced it over at Junk Journal Buddies. So if you missed that announcement, which you shouldn't because it's pinned to the top, it'll be at 9 o'clock. And if you didn't come the last time, there's directions on how to get to the crafting after dark. Okay. Let me just make sure Mr. Focus is not going to be going crazy because, Mr. Focus is something else. All right, so this is a really large journal. So I had to, and this is the biggest one that I've done. So I had to kind of figure out how to do things. So I'm going to tell you all the papers that I'm using and kind of give you like the reasoning behind stuff. So first, let me just say these pages, like on the screen, they might not look that big because, it's like little Barney, I love you, you love me, little Barney on TV, as opposed to when you go see him in real life and he's like 9 feet tall. For real though, that's how this book is. So this book is going to be about 7.5 inches wide by like 11 3/4. So that's pretty tall and it's pretty wide. So I decided to use some cardstock in this book. And I wanted to use some papers that kind of had some girth to them. Hello, Rhonda. Oh, you know what, y'all? I didn't even say hello to everybody. So if you're coming on for the first time with me, y'all have to know I'm chatty. And this is a different kind of live stream. I love hanging with my junk journal buddies. So I have to say hello to Nettie and Penny Pen. Hey, Penny Pen. And also Donna. Hi, Donna. And Scrap Craftastic, Rachel over at Scrap Craftastic. Hey. And also Rhonda and Oregon Coaster. So yay, we got Oregon Coaster on with us today as well. Okay, so back to the book now. All right, so I wanted to use some pages that kind of have some girth. So The recipient of this can use it as, they can use it as a junk journaler, they can use it as memory keeping, they could use it as an art journal as well. Hey Jay and Karina, hey, how y'all doing? I haven't seen y'all here before, I don't think. Welcome. You probably, if you're a lurker, that's okay. I welcome the lurkers as well. All right, so let's look at some of the papers that I have in here. So I have some double-sided cardstock, which I don't have that much of, but I think I'm going to start buying more double-sided cardstock. I try not to buy too much because, you know, space is limited in the ecosystem of Liz. So I try not to buy too much cardstock, but I've been going through the cardstock pretty quickly. And then I had this old book, and let me see what the name of the book was. Y'all used it in the first signature. It is, do I have a book down here? Oh, here it is. So I used some pages from this book. It's an old book, and it is from 19, I believe. Yeah, hold on. I think I used the first page, and I'll tell you. Must be in. Let me look in the signature here, and I could tell you. It was made in, copyright is 1955. So original copyright was 1927. So it's from 1955. And I thought this was a cool book. I got it at a thrift store. And so I've already kind of gutted it. So this is going to be a journal pretty soon as well. So if anybody's interested in having a custom journal made, I can do that with this book. I don't think will be able to save the spine, but you know, I kind of like busting the spines out and making new spines anyway. All right, so anyway, so that's where this page came from. So it's from a children's book. And I always like using children's books as well. Yeah, Rhonda, I love them too, because they add a little bit of whimsy to the book because we want it to be fun, right? And Nettie says she likes big books. She can't lie. This is a big one, and I like it too. Like, I wanted to keep this book, but Bobby told me I can't keep everything. Because whenever I'm making my stuff, y'all, I always making it so I'm like, if I make a mistake, I'll just keep it. And that makes it really easy to work on books, because I'm like, if I make a mistake, I don't make the mistakes, but you know. So I just took out a few pieces that are going to be going into the book too. And then I had like a kids encyclopedia book. I don't have that by me though, so I don't know the name of it. But I believe it was from the 1950s as well. And I love the illustrations that they had in here. And you know, I'm actually tempted to read it, but it's going to take me too much time because you know, the information in the books are so outdated and it's a lot of misinformation. So I'm also going to be using some scraps. You can see this came from the top of the paper pad. So I'm going to be using that in here. And we got some more scrap paper. And this came from, it came from a Time Life, a gardening book actually. So I'll be using that. And let's see what else we got in here. Okay, this is the encyclopedia page. And Mr. Wiggles. And some vintage, this is from 1937. This is some vintage music sheets. I love using music sheets, so I made sure I put a few in here also. And it's not so vintagey or antique that it's going to just like fall apart, so you can still work with it, so that's nice. And then I have a vintage scorecard. This is from 1978, a Uno scorecard. I didn't even know they had Uno in 1978. I don't know why, because I probably played it then. All right, so because this book was so stinking big, I had no papers that I could just fold in half. I didn't have any book pages that I could fold in half to make my signatures. So what I'm going to be doing is some Frankensteining. And the Frankensteining actually is good because it'll make like the spine pieces strong as well. So like, this is cardstock here. Let me just keep these all together. Let me move this out the way. We'll get to that later. And I'll actually give you a preview of the book, but that's going to be a little bit later too. So I had the cardstock, and what I did was I measured out how big I wanted my signatures to be, and I just, on my scoreboard, I just scored it and then folded it, of course. So that would be the size of the pages that I need. But as you can see, the back page is quite short. So I knew I was going to need to put some pages on there. So I'm going to use this page here to make it bigger. But it's a little bit too big, so I'm going to cut it down a bit. So I got Big Mama over here. And y'all always say this is not a tutorial, but you know, I always try to tell you what I'm doing. And so on Big Mama, I am going to just let's cut this ragged edge off. I do like ragged edges, but in this case, I'm going to cut it off. And then let's see, we're going to take a look here. And I'm just kind of eyeballing to see how much I still need to take off. Maybe about like an inch. Let's take an inch off. You don't have to be that precise, but all right. And let's see. Okay, so that's good. And it's a little bit too tall because I already measured this, and I know that this is the height that I need for the book. And so I'm just going to take a little bit off the top. Because again, I want it to be either too short, but not too long in this case. I'm going to cut just a tidbit more off. All right, that should be good. Let's get these papers out the way. So are you all working on anything today? What are you working on while you are sitting here watching and learning and picking up ideas? All right, so I'm going to put this in here. Y'all know I didn't have anything prepped and ready to go, so that's just how I roll. And I decided on this side, this book has a ton of sewing in it, so y'all know I'm going to be sewing in a minute. I decided on the back side that I would just add my scorecard in here as well, just to give it kind of a different look. So it's not going to be functional or anything like that. It's just going to be inside. So I need for these to kind of not move when I get ready to sew them. And so I'm going to put them where I want them to be, kind of just to test. And I am going to take, I told y'all I had some small tape runners. Here's the small tape runner. So I'm just going to take my small tape runner, and I'm going to put a little tape there because I don't need a lot. And then I might have put that in the wrong spot though. Let me see. Because I don't want it to be where I'm going to be sewing, and I think it is. So I'm going to have to watch out for that when I sew. Because you don't want to sew through adhesive, but I just made that mistake. I've been doing that all day long. So Rhonda says, hey Jamie. Rhonda says she's working on a journal for Sunday school, a Sunday school party. Y'all, journals make a good gift too. So if you're making journals for a gift, people are going to love you forever. Okay, so that's all I wanted to put on here to Frankenstein this page to make it 2 pages per se. So let's take out the whippersnapper. And I got to change the thread in here because right now I have some yellow thread in here, and I don't want yellow for this job. I'm actually using like a deep purple color. I know y'all are saying, what? But it all makes sense in the grand scheme of things. The purple makes sense. And when you see the whole book, then you'll understand where I'm going with this. So I'm going to put my deep purple in here because y'all know I love color. And I'm really like getting into my groove as to the types of journals that I like to make. And of course, I like my journals to have some color. So let me just thread this really quickly. Make sure I thread it right. Y'all, I did take my sewing machine apart today and got all the fiber dust out of there. So I didn't change my needle though. I probably could benefit from a better needle, but I haven't really had any problems with my needle, so I ain't gonna worry about it. All right, let's put the, I've sewed so much with this purple, I actually had to refill my bobbins. So, and these are some big bobbins, so I did a lot. So we see Oregon Cluster says that they are making cluster. I said Oregon Clusters, didn't I? Oregon Coaster said that they're making some clusters and trying to use up some junky scraps. I know that's right. We're some scrappy people, aren't we? We're always saving scraps for later. We're not hoarders. We're scrappy people. We're scrappy ladies and scrappy guys. Hey, Tammy. All right, so now what I'm going to do, what I decided to do is to sew down the middle here, and let me get y'all together. I'm not gonna come too far down today, but y'all know what, the camera be like hindering me, but I know y'all want to see what I'm doing. So all right, so I'm just randomly picking stitches as well. So I'm gonna pick a number 54 because that's one of my favorites to get started with. All right, and I gotta watch out. Got some strings. Gotta watch out for that adhesive, because I know I'm gonna roll through it, so I'm gonna have to watch and see. It's gonna make things jump. Look at my needle. Okay, looks okay so far. Alright, y'all gotta move this up a little bit because these papers are so big. They're taking up a lot of real estate on my desk. Alright, so let me see if I can get this. And plus I got the camera out, and oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, it could become a fiasco in here. Alright. Push that back. And so you can see this is what it looks like so far. But I'm gonna do some more sewing on here because this piece is still kind of sticking up. So, and I don't want it to stick up. So we are going to sew that down as well. And I'm going to use the same stitch. Things sounded kind of funny. You know, when you're using your sewing machine and you use it a lot, you can really like pick up on the noises that your machine makes. And you'll know if something is not quite right. Y'all got that thing going fast, right? Let me pull that up. The ecosystem, y'all. The ecosystem. It's a killer. Alright, so I'm just going to cut off all this some of the little extra stringage. I decided to leave some stringage on here. I like stringage, but you know, you don't want too much because it'll drive you mad. All right, so now with this sheet, I'm thinking, do I want to go around this Uno card? Maybe. I don't want to glue it down. I don't know. Do I? I think I'm going to leave it like it is. So that page, so this is the first page in this signature. because this book actually has like 5 signatures. So Tammy says she's been hitting Amazon hard this week. Girl, get off of there. Oh, they got some good dollar, good cards that you can get on there through Verizon. I'm not with Verizon, so I couldn't benefit from that. Okay, so let me get the next piece. So I put things kind of in order the way I wanted to do them. Okay, so also, okay, I'm saying a lot of okays. This piece right here, I got out of one of my books that I got at the thrift store, a bird book, but I made a copy of it. Man, the copy came out really good too. So look at that. And I wanted to make this a pocket, so I copied it on cardstock, and then I got some of papers that are like in the land of cardstock that I don't use, and I'm going to use this as a background, I think. Hold on. Let's see, in a way, I kind of don't like it because it doesn't have any color to it, so maybe I won't use that. So I have some other pieces that I can use for a background instead. So let's see here. Because, you know, I'm a color girl. And since this book is so big, I wanted to have, like, big pockets in here, y'all. I even like this. Just by itself, but... And I didn't do this. This is was already, it's like a collage. And I forgot what pack of paper it is. I had it like since the beginning of time. So what I want to do is kind of combine these. So I can just have like a big stinking pocket. And these almost are like the right size. All right, hold up. Let's move the whippersnapper out the way for a second. Ugh. And let's pull this over. Let's pull over Miss Ma'am, Big Bertha here, and do a spot. Oops, sorry. Do a spot of cutting. I just need to cut a sliver of this paper off. And they're about the same size. And also what I'm going to do is, I don't need this whole piece, so I'm going to cut some of it off. Because it's just going to get in the way when I'm making the pocket. And also I can use it for something else, because there we go, saving some scraps. So now these are almost the same size, I think. Yeah, hold on. Let's see. They might be just a hair off, which is no big deal. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is, I could sew this on top instead of on the bottom so I could see. That would be just fine with me. All right, let me move this out the way and bring the whippersnapper back. Woo. Woo-wee. Okay. Is anybody else, are you all making any journals for gifts? Are y'all making somebody happy with some gift giving of journals? All right, let's see what we want to use. This time I'm going to use a number 27, which is one of my all-time faves. on my brother's SQ9185 Whippersnapper sewing machine. Of course, that's not really the name of the sewing machine, but I dubbed it the Whippersnapper. And of course, I'll show you all what it looks like after she gets done sewing. I made sure to make a copy. I didn't scan the pictures. I just made copies of them because I was trying to be quick about this, because sometimes y'all, I'll be doing too much and it just takes me so long to do stuff. I'm determined this 2020 to get stuff done, because sometimes I'm just ridiculously slow. Okay, we're gonna miss you tomorrow, Donna. All right, let me move the whippersnapper back out the way. And let's move our signature back over here. All right, so we didn't use this stuff. Let's move that out the way. And I want to put this big old pocket in here. And what I'm going to do, like, instead of making this like a deep pocket, I am going to make it kind of like a tuck spot. So some of them I made like really deep pockets, and some I just made like some tuck spots. So I'm gonna make this into kind of a tuck spot, and I'm just gonna freehand this, y'all. So y'all wish me luck, because y'all know me and scissors. Let me see how I feel about that. And also, for some of my pockets, I cut them, but I like that. I think I did a fine job there. Even though it has a little point right there, I kind of like that point there, so I'm going to leave it. And on this pocket, I'm going to do a little smooching. Going to smooch it up some, because I just feel like this photo needs a little framing. Just a little bit, because it's like white cardstock. So this book is made with some vintage papers and some new papers. So it's a very good combination. I don't think anybody makes their books with just vintage pages, but if they do, their books probably fall apart. I ain't hating, I'm just saying. You got to have some new with the old. But it's not a deal breaker for me. Okay. So we got some smooching done. I'm trying to keep my surface a little bit clean, because I have to keep moving stuff in and out of here. Okay. So I did. Now, before I made sure I made a mistake on one of these where I glued my pocket in, and then I did the sewing on here, and then I had to kind of readjust things on this side. So a good thing is, on the piece that you're working on, do your sewing first and then come back in and do your gluing if you have gluing that needs to be done. So that's an important piece. Oh. You know, I wish my mom would like junk journaling. My mom doesn't like stuff like that, so nobody in my family does but me. So I am going to use, and of course I did not bring my towel. Wait, y'all, let me get my wet towel first before I start doing this, because that just makes my life so much easier. Hold on one sec. Okay, she's back. All right, got my towel, my wet art towel here. Okay, because when I'm gluing, I always get glue kind of all over the place. Okay, so always have to take a second look. Make sure I'm doing things correctly. All right. Make sure I did that paper right too. I'm just using my Aleene's tacky glue. And for putting the pockets on, I like using the Aleene's tacky glue for a few reasons. One is I know once it dries, this stuff is not coming up for nothing because it sticks like nobody's business. And it has a nice tackiness to it. You still have some time to move things around if you need to. So I like that about it. And I thought about using double stick tape for my pockets, but for this job, I really think the glue is better than the tapes. So that's my thought process behind that. Because sometimes the tape will come up. So I'm going to try to do this as great as I can. And all right, and there we have it. And it's like a tuck spot here. So a gargantuan tuck spot. Because like I said, you can't really see how big it is. Yeah, because I have big hands, so you can see it's clearly much bigger. All right, so now these 2 pages are done. So this is the front and the back page. So next, so then I kind of put things back together. So as I go, I'm kind of looking at things to make sure things are going to fit, because everything needs to fit within the parameter of this first piece that I made. And I thought about, well, I didn't think about, I already know that I can't do this, but you might think about like cutting things, like you got all your papers together and then just cutting them at one time. But what happens is as you do things within the signature, you put decorations on or sewing or reinforcements, it changes how things sit within the journal themselves. So you have to watch out for that. Okay, so now in the next page that I'm going to do is this one. So let me take this other stuff out. And what I'm going to do I want to do this? No, I don't. Okay, so I have this page is from Mr. Wiggles, and you can see it has like holes down the middle, which is fine. It's an older book, but I decided to do some reinforcement. So on all the pages that Mr. Wiggles has, I'm going to do some reinforcements on it as well. So what I did was I did some of my fabric book paper, and I did this in with some of the other fabric that I'm using throughout the book, which you'll see. And I used some, yeah, I don't know why I can never think of what the name of the stuff is. The adhesive, heat and bond. I had to think about it. Oh my goodness, that drives me crazy. Heat and bond to some paper and then put it on fabric, and it makes it easy to work with, basically. So then I fold it in half, and I take my bone folder and just make sure it's nice and creased. And I didn't really have to measure it, do too much measuring on it. I just want to make sure that's going to fit within the parameters of the book, and it's going to go on like this. So let's move. Well, before I move that, because I know I'm going to forget, I'm going to close this in with my reinforcement so you can see. So this sits out pretty far. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to cut on the pages. I'm going to fold them. But I am going to cut a little bit off the top. So let me do that first. Put things where they belong. Okay, here we go. So let's cut some off the top, because how about the bottom? We'll cut some off the bottom. It's a little tall. I had to have Big Mama up here because I know I was going to be doing a lot of cutting. And now let's see if this is going to fit in here. All right. So now we got to do some folding. And I'm just eyeballing it. And I'm going to fold them towards the inside. And these pages are really heavy. They're going to be really, really nice to work on for whoever gets it. Because I've been already told I can't keep the book. I would like to, but I've already been told. Let's see, I folded in. I did a good job of folding it in. All right, so let's do this side as well. Oh, y'all can't really, I'm just eyeballing it. Just making sure that it folds within. And I could just easily cut this off. I mean, there's nothing on the edge, but, you know, we got to do a little extra something, something. This side doesn't want to fold. It doesn't want to fold. Let's use a debone folder here. Now let's use the bone folder on this side. That side folded well, and the other side just was like, no, I'm not folding. All right, so now you can see everything fits within that first page. So this is kind of the guide. All right, make sure I didn't have that on there. So I see a piece is hanging out just a little bit, but that's not a problem. Okay, so next, what I would like to do is I'm going to take this card here and I'm going to connect it here on this side. And then on this side, I need something. Hold on, hold your horses, people. Let me see what I think I'm gonna do. I had some Rolodex cards that I got at a thrift store as well. Maybe put this on here some kind of way. I don't know, this strip is just so small. You know what? I think I'm just gonna cut those edges off because they're kind of small. So let's do that. Let's cut them off. She changed her mind, and I'll just leave them just like that and just give it a whack. I'm gonna whack them off. She's whacking it. All right, so there we have it. Oh, it didn't whack that one. How dare you? It missed it. Do another whacking. Take the sliver off. There we go. Whacked off. Whacking done. Okay. So now, let me do another check. So I do a lot of checks because, you know, my mom, she's a retired carpenter. And one of her big things, and you've probably heard it before, is you always want to measure twice and cut once. All right, so there we have it. Looks good on the back. Looks good on the front. All right, now, let's take this out. And we need the whippersnapper now. Ugh. Y'all, the whippersnapper's heavy. I'll be struggling a little bit. All right. Gotta move some of the stuff out the way from behind here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some tape on here. I'm not gonna use the I'm gonna use some actual double stick tape, I think, if I can find it. Oh, there it is. It's right where it belongs. Okay, I'm just going to use just a little bit of double stick tape, and I'm going to put some tape here and put it right in the middle, because when I sew, I don't want to pick up that tape. And I know I'm not going to sew. Hopefully I'm not going to sew in that spot, but you never know. Let me rub that in. Oh, y'all, I am not making good time on this. This is a slow roll, but I want to make sure this book is done right. It has like all the details and stuff are done, so she's just going to take her slow time. All right, and then I'm just going to sit this in here where I want it to be. Just eyeballing it again. And then that way, that'll kind of hold that in place until I sew it in. I do need an octopus table, child. I do. Because I'm just on the desk, and I try to hold the whole world on this one desk. All right, so this time I am going to do quite a bit of sewing on this one. And I think I'm going to use number 17. I'm going to use number 17 on here. Okay. Hey, Janet. Haven't seen you in a long time. Hey, 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 hey. All right. And Gretchen. Hey, Gretchen. All right. So even though I'm running it through here, I have the tape on here, I'm still kind of making sure that the spine is all lined up. As you know, I gotta move this up some. This page is so big. She don't got no room. All right, just gonna go right off the top of here. You can do it, Lizzie. All right. Boy. Okay. So y'all can see that's what it looks like, but you all will get the close-up view in a second. And then let's go down the other side. I'm checking my needle because I think I went through some adhesive. I learned to check my needle for adhesive when I do stuff like this, because I definitely make some mistakes. I have my wet rag, so. And I know you can use like Goo Gone and stuff on here, but I find like the wet rag just does a marvelous job of getting any little tiny bits of adhesive off while I'm doing this. I guess if I left it for a while, then that would be a whole different story. Okay, I'm going to use the same stitch. All right. Yeah, that granny duty is something else, isn't it? I'm going to have granny duty this weekend. Those darn kids, you can't say no to them. Because you want to play with the little kidlies. All right. So now I got both sides here done, but I want to do some more stitching. And this time I'm going to use a number 25 stitch. And it's kind of like a squiggly line. Start at the top. Okay. All right. And I'm going to go all the way around the page. trying not to crinkle the pages up too much because they already have some crinkles in them because, you know, it's an old book. So the pages are bound to have some crinklage in it. Y'all, when I'm doing this by myself, I don't have to move the sewing machine because I don't have the camera, and I can have the sewing machine a bit closer to me. But whilst you all are on, I have to take one for the team. And try to move this stuff around. All right, let's see. Ecosystem problems. Goes around this way. And I'm just going to take this all, oops, sorry. I'm going to take this all the way across here. Go onto the other page. Alright. There you go, Mike. And although I'm doing a lot of stitching, I'm not doing a lot of double stitching like I usually do. I said to myself, I'm just going to try to keep it as simple as simple is for Liz. You know, simple don't really work out that way for me. It's all about the details. Alright, so that's it. Oi, 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 oi. The little bunny rabbits are so cute on here. Alright, let me move this out the way. Let's look at what we got. Get out the way, whippersnapper. Okay. Let me cut some of the strings off here. I'm trying to cut strings as I go. Used to be a time I would just like sew and then go back, but now I try to do things as I go. It makes a huge difference. Okay. So this is what the page looks like. Thank you. And so let's put this back in to here. And so now this page is reinforced. So it really doesn't matter what this looks like on this side because it is not coming loose. But since I have this open, what I decided to do was to just use some masking tape, because the masking tape, instead of using washi tape, I decided to use masking tape because I know the masking tape is going to hold like in nobody's business, and it kind of blends into the paper just a bit. But anybody that gets the book, they'll know why, because this is an old page and I'm going to cover the holes. Although I think the holes are beautiful, but you know. And because this tape is strong, I don't have to put any extra glue on it. And I have to be careful and make sure I put this down where it needs to go. So I'm just going to fold this up. And then I'm going to start in the middle here with my bone folder, just to make sure that this is pressed down nicely. Because I'm the queen of getting creases in my own stuff. And then let's do it this way. And make sure we get the bubbles out so it'll be nice and a flat. Because once it's down good, like now, it's not coming off. And then the next piece, get my ruler here. You can use a credit card to do this too. Even though this is a not washi, you can still rip this up and give it a nice edge. Gotta get the extra off my finger here. Let's turn this around. Break. All right. Okay, now let's do the other side while we have this all nice and open. Mr. Wiggles. We're fixing you right up, Mr. Wiggles. Just go ahead and rip that tape. All right, she's concentrating, y'all. So I'm just going to just lay it down. Because even though I can see with the crease, sometimes that's not where it's going to fold at. So I just want to make sure. And then let's start here in the middle. Go outward. All right, that's good. And let's rip this up. The edges so they'll be nice and flush. I've got a lot of threads hanging off here. Okay, so now that's reinforced and it blends better into the page. Let me just give this a little bit more burnishing here. That's good to go. And that page is ready. And so it's going to go in here like that. So you can see the with the fabrics and the thread, the sewing, it actually just, it brings the book to life. I always say that. So then the next page we have is our space page. And you can see the page was too short, of course, to fold over. So I put 2 pages together. Let me see. Let me make sure before I take all this stuff apart how I'm going to do this. Okay, let's move this out the way. All right, so what I did was I took 2 pages and I just folded them like on the edges here. And then I'm just going to overlap them like so. And then I'm going to sew them together. So let's move these finished pieces out the way. Oh, but before we do that, before I get into the sewing, let me do my cuts first. Because I'm the queen. I'm the queen of everything. I'm the queen of forgetting to cut stuff. So the pages are good. They don't come over the top or the bottom, but it's just a little sliver. And actually, I probably could leave that there and it would be okay, but I'm going to go ahead and cut it off since I done pointed it out. So let's cut a sliver off of here. Get my slivers off. They can go into the trash or rasher. Okay, I'm going to do a test again. Got to do some testing, y'all. Got to do testing. And, all right. So everything's in. All right, so now it's inside of the parameters of where it should be. Okay. Now, let's get the whippersnapper back out. Ugh. Yeah. And on this one, let's see, I'll start on this side here. Got to make sure that they are seated properly. And okay. All right, and I am going to do number 19 on this one. No, I'm going to do a number 68. A girl can change her mind, right? Number 68. All right. And I see some adhesive on my needle. So let me get that off right now because I already know. I already know what the outcome of that is going to be. I'm just going to wipe it off. I probably should have put some tape on this, but it's a little bit thin, so I'm going to try to wing it. All right, that's off. Okay, we're good to go. We are good to go. Just trying to make sure my threads are right. Even with my glasses, sometimes it's just hard to see. And yep. I jumped the gun before I said go. And y'all, I'm just guiding this. I'm not really holding it because with the decorative stitches, if you try to hold it, it's gonna not work out. I did do my walk today, and my walk was fantastic. I actually did my walk right before I came on the live stream instead of this morning because I was doing some stuff this morning and I didn't have a chance to do it, but I was like, I'm gonna do my walk. So you all can kind of follow my walking journey. I actually have a Facebook page for Liz for a Day, and also over on Instagram I post stuff about my walking over there. So I'm on a 4-day streak right now. She is streaking it. All right, and let's do the other side here. I'm gonna pull this a little bit closer to me. We're running out of time. All right. And I think... Hold on. Let me move this out the way for a second. Now, this did buckle just a little bit. Like, I could feel it. Like, nobody else probably would know this but me. I could feel that it buckled just a little bit in here. So I'm just going to just make sure it's folded down good. Now, also, when you're sewing, I'm just going to have to show you in order to explain this. So I sewed on this side of the page here. Let me try to fix. My brightness is crazy. So I sewed on this side right here. And when you do that and there's dark paper on the other side, the white paper will come through. So you can see here how the white came through, which is okay. I think it looks very pretty that way, but it might drive some people crazy. But on this side, I sewed on the black part, and you can't see it on this side because it's like white paper on that side. So I just wanted to show you the difference in that. So you have to, when you're doing cardstock, that's what happens when the one side is white and the other side is a dark color. Okay, so, okay. And this goes in, I think, for this one, that's all the sewing I'm going to do on that one. Okay, y'all, so I'm pretty much out of time. I still have some more to do on this signature, but I'm going to show you let me show you what we've done so far on here. And if you all want to see what the journal this is going into looks like, put a 1 in the chat. If I get 10 ones, I don't know how many people are on here now, but if I get 10 ones, I'll show you all the journal. So you have to give me a 1. If y'all don't want to see it, you can just say no. We don't have a lot of people on the stream today. I don't know why. I'm like the most popular girl in the world. But I have like one more page left to do, but I'll do that a little bit later. And it's going to go in here some kind of way with its sewing. So this is what we did today. So we did this one page here. This is the cover. So there's no sewing on here. This is a signature. And then we made a gargantuan pocket because this is a big one. Hey, Deborah. So we got 3, 4. And y'all don't forget to give the video a thumbs up before you shove off as well. And let's see here. A lot of strings. And we did our sewing here. We reinforced this page so it would be nice. And we also put some tape on here to kind of cover up the little holes. This is upside down. So you got to make sure it's not upside down before you put the signatures in. Because that's the page there. And then we sewed these Frankenstein these pages together. Penny, you're cheating. You're cheating, Penny. You're cheating. I only have like only 4 ones. You are such cheats. Okay, but since, you know, I'm excited about this book, I'll show you. So, let me stick this. I'm going to stick the signature where it's supposed to go. Anticipation. Anticipation. It's making me wait. All right, so dun 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 dun. Introducing. I don't really have a name for her yet. It's gargantuan. Let me see if I can pull this up a little bit more so you can see. So this is what it looks like. Let me change my brightness back. There we go. So this is it. And I made this from a Pokino cards. So it's 2 Pokino cards. This is the front and this is the back. So all the stringage is supposed to be there. So on the back, and these are pockets actually. So let's see, do I have something to stick into the pocket so you can see. Of course, this is just a mini walkthrough. I'm going to try to have this ready by this weekend. So if anybody needs a junk journal gift, here you have it. And see, there's a pocket here. And I covered this with, what do you call it? Pattern pieces, because I wanted to be able to see the actual cards. And they were kind of grungy. And I tried to clean them up, but they didn't really clean up good. So I was like, okay, what can I do to kind of cover that up? And I used some pattern pieces, and I love the effect that it had. And on the front, these are also pockets on the front here and here as well. And so I did a lot of patchworking. You can see I used some of the materials that I got from Happy Mail. And so Sally, you'll see some of, Sally's not on now, but she'll probably watch later. And so you'll see some of the things that you sent me. So I'll use a whole bunch of different materials. And then this is what the spine looks like. Y'all so big I can't even get the whole thing on the camera. Let me see if I go this way. Y'all can see what the spine, there we go. So you can see what the spine looks like. So it's kind of like a plethora of patchwork there all over. And I love the way this came out. So on the Patreon channel today, this morning, I actually put all these pieces together because none of this was together this morning. So I put the covers together along with the spine. It has a really thick spine too. So let's go inside. Bam! When you open it up, you just get like that bam of color. Because y'all know, I'm a color girl. So I decided to use like this really nice yellow gingham pattern on the inside. And I'm going to have to use my roller to get some of the lint off of here, and I did some sewing around the sides, and the construction of this came out so good. So that's what it looks like on the inside. And then these are the signatures. So I have one page left in the signature, and all 5 of these signatures are done and they're ready to put in, because I'm not going to decorate these a lot. I want the pages to be kind of blank. So I'll give you all like a little peek at the pages. So you can see this is 1 signature, 2, 3, 4, and then the one that we worked on. All right, so what do you all think so far? What do y'all think? It's nice, huh? So you can see I made a big gargantuan pocket here, and it's like a tuck spot. And I'm not going to do a lot of explanation, but y'all can just see what it looks like. Because when I do the flip through, then I'll do a bit more explanation on it. So you can see. So you all are getting the preview of it. So if anybody's interested, if you're watching on the replay, you're interested, it's one of a kind. So, and I think I'm going to put it up in the shop tomorrow. So as a pre-sale, because I still need to just sew it in, which is not going to take me that long. But there's some added touches that I want to do to this as well. So that's the first signature. And then I made a gargantuan pocket here. In this pocket, you have to access from the top up here. And Mr. Wriggles. And then this is like the where the copyright is on here. The Uncle Wiggily. I said Mr. Wriggles. The Uncle Wiggily book. Wowzers. It's pretty. And then opens up there. And then I have to put my tape on here, but this is reinforced already. Got some atlas pages in here. I did a ton of sewing in here. Almost every page has some sewing on it. Let's see. You can flip this up over here. And because I'm not going to like put ephemera all over it in the inside, I'm going to add a packet of ephemera to go with this book. So I'll have like a ton of pieces to go in here because it's a big book, so you got to fill it up. So look at that. Y'all, this is like probably my favorite page. Look at that page. It's so pretty. And then we have our reinforced page here as well, with all the wonderful animals. I love it. We got some florals going on. Yeah. All the beautiful sewing. It's very nice. Very nice indeed. And then this one was the third signature. And here's another kind of tuck spot pocket. Y'all, isn't that beautiful? These pictures are so beautiful. They came out so good. That's the one of the reinforced pages. Because I wanted to add one of these book pages into each signature. You said you wish you weren't broke. Look at that. So pretty. Y'all, I outdid myself on this one. Even if I do say so myself. Hello, Noel. Even if I do say so myself. And just wait till everything's together, because y'all know I'm not finished. There's more to come. More to come in this book. But overall, basically, I just have like some finishing touches. Don't drool on yourself. Look at that. This is the one that we just did. So now you can see how everything came together, and the colors all the colors just melded all together quite nicely. And I have to say, I think I have an eye for color, because y'all don't be thinking about it when I put stuff together, but the colors come together really nicely. So this page is going to be like this once it's sewn in. So it'll look like this, but it's going to look more beautifuler because it's going to have some sewing in it. You can see. Y'all, these pages are so cool from the, what you call it, the encyclopedia about science. Those pictures are so cool. Re-entry and recovery. You can read them. You can read the pages. I love these reinforced pages too, because y'all know I'm all about texture. I like the texture in the books. And then the back. So my plan, I believe, I don't know, you know, things could change, is to put some big old pockets in here. I'm going to add some pockets in. So I already kind of have an idea, but again, I could change things. And since this is a big book, I wanted to do like some really huge pockets. So on this one, I think I'm going to do something like this, and of course it's going to have a lot of sewing on it, and the pockets are going to be nice and stiff but flexible. It's going to be like a huge pocket there, and then I'm going to make one in the back, and I don't know what the back one is going to be yet. So I tried to use some of the fabrics that I used on the covers. I don't know if I have any more of this one yet. I still have some of that. And then this is all the little piece I have left. Sally sent me some snippet of some like stretchy kind of ribbon. I love this ribbon, and I used a lot of it on the cover. So this is going to be one pocket in the front, and then I'm going to put a pocket in the back. And I think I'm going to put some tabs on here, because y'all know I loved me some tabs. So I'm going to put probably some different types of tabs on here as well. And then maybe I'm thinking big. Like I said, I don't know. I know I'm going to add ephemera to the book. Let me put this book back over to the side. I'm going to add some ephemera with this as well. But I think I'm going to add some tabs in too. And then not finished with the cover, and I'm debating on whether to put like the metal book things on, but y'all don't like those. I never liked those. So if you ever see my books, you won't see the metal edges, and these edges are perfectly fine. Like this cardboard is, I don't know what the milliliter is on this, but the thickness on here is really good. So I don't think I really need to put any of those metal book corners on there. I think it'll kind of take away from the book. Yes, a nice base. Very nice base. Y'all need to learn how to use your machine. It's not even a learning thing. You just got to pull it out and start using it. Sewing on paper is the coolest thing. So y'all saw me sew on paper. Was pretty easy. Y'all look at all the beautiful strings sticking out. Oh, I like all that stringage. Look at that. It's going to have 5 signatures in here. So this is going to be a wonderful book. Yeah, I think I'm going to skip the metal edges, Noelle, for sure. Oh, and then also, so I'm going to skip those, and thank you whoever bought some from me. And then I have this book charm that I made, and this was an experiment. Yeah, I'm always experimenting, but this book charm is like perfect for this actual book. And let me see if I can get things to kind of, they already kind of twisted up, but I guess that's just how it gets. But somebody asked me at a thrift store, I bought a game, and it had like these game pieces in it, and they asked what was I going to do with it, and look, this is what I'm doing. Let me bring y'all in a little bit closer so you can see the charm itself. This is a sharing moment right now, because y'all know I should be shoving off. And let me move this book out the way, because I think the blue is like messing with my camera, with my cam. So there we go. So it has a few things on here. So I have like a charm. It's a Tim Holtz charm on here, and I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read it. And I have a dice with some beads on there, and a game piece. This little pog is a game piece as well. And then we got some more beads. Got a button here. Got a little key on here. And then y'all, the seashell, I had some seashells for a long time, and I actually got them from the beach myself. So I can get some free seashells to put onto these. So that's the charm. And my plan, thank you, Noelle. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Okay, that looks good. I'm trying to read at the same time while I'm doing things. So Noelle says that I think, Noelle, are you a he or a she? I don't know. I'm gonna say, because Noelle could be a girl's name or a boy's name. So I'm gonna say Noelle says that they would skip the metal edges. Also, I read that. And it says they love the look of the sewing on the pages and also love the strings hanging. Me too. And love the charm. You are very welcome, Deborah. Hello, Deborah. Did I say hi to you already? And thank you, Nettie. Nettie said the journal is amazing, amazing. Oh, it's a she. Okay, that's what I thought. But I just wanted to make sure because most of the people over here are women, but I do have some guys that watch as well. Oh, it's your middle name. Well, it's a nice name for the season. Okay, so I'm going to put this not on the edge, not on the spine, but I'm going to put it on the front, like right here. So I'm going to put a hole there because I figure if I mess the hole up, I can still cover it up with fabric, y'all. There's always a fix for stuff. So I'm going to put it here. And I got that idea from Jessica Rapp because she does all her books like that. But I love that idea because then you can see like your charm on the front of the book, and you can move it out the way when you're working in it. And I'm still debating on what the closure is going to be, if there's going to be a closure at all. I don't know if I'm going to do a closure on this book or not. So I'm debating on that. So y'all, that's the whole shebang, and I should be finished with this by this weekend. I can start on something else. I got to get things rolling. So if anybody needs a gift, this is it. And I'm going to put it up in the shop tomorrow. And it'll just be a few days before it goes out. Before it's completely ready. But it's just going to go up in the shop. So Penny says she leaves the strings on everything till she figure out where they're going. I try to cut some of the strings down, but y'all know I like stringage. So Oregon says she's trying to figure out the tension on the machine should be 2 or 6. She can't tell the difference. You can tell when you can't tell the difference until you actually sew on different thicknesses of material. So, and that could be paper or it could be fabric. So you have to test on different thicknesses and then you'll see the difference in the tension. So I have my machine, the tension. Oh, let's see on the whippersnapper. Oh, I can't tell. I can't tell because it's computerized. And it's off right now. But I usually have the tension pretty kind of loose for paper. If I'm doing like a whole bunch of sheets, of course. Where did I find the pole? The hitch post. Is that what you're talking about, Penny? Where did I find the hitch post at? I think that's what you're talking about. And if you're talking about the hitch post, I've had them for a while, and I think I got them. I'm pretty sure they are Tim Holtz. No, I think I got them at a garage sale, but they are Tim Holtz. And so you can get them in Joann's or Michael's. I find that Joann's has more Tim Holtz items than Michael's. And if you're lucky, you can get them at Tuesday mornings, but you really got to be lucky for that. for the hitch post. So I may use a hitch post on this one, but I'm not sure. Not sure if I'm going to use the hitch post, but y'all love these pockets. This has become my all-time favoriteest journal to make. I like it. I like making the journal. Well, I can't say that because I like the Scrabble journal as well, which is, by the way, that's up in the shop still. So if anybody needs a gift, these game board journals are the bomb diggity. And I was thinking about pulling out the journals that I still have left and showing them. They were all 40% off during Black Friday, so y'all missed out if y'all didn't get y'all journals, but you can still get them now. All right, you all. I am going to shove off. Thanks everybody for coming on. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the journal love, and I think I might do a little bit more work on this, and then I'm going to head to the bed. I know, Noelle. I know. All right, you all. With that, I'm going to say love, peace, and hair grease. From your sweet lotus blossom and lovable Lizzie, have a fantabulous day and enjoy life.